Good morning and welcome to the Peorian. I'm your host, Paul Gordon. Is there a place in Central Illinois where a person can go to get a great meal and see top-rate professional entertainment at a fair price? Well, the answer to that is yes. But you better call ahead because Conklin's Barn 2 Dinner Theater in Goodfield is not always easy to get into. The Barn Theater has been open since 1975 when Chauncey Conklin bought out a farm near Goodfield and converted an old and very large barn into a theater. And while the romance, for lack of a better word, of dinner theaters has died away, the Barn 2 continues to survive, largely because of the fare it offers, starting with the meal and continuing with the entertainment. Every year, the Barn puts together a season that is guaranteed to make its patrons laugh. There's the regular group of performers, well-known names like Pat Geik and Bob Ling Jr., Dan and Tamara Chalicombe and Lana Warner. And then there are special guests like Mike Dentino and Mel and Bonnie White. The 2012 season, which is being called Comic Capers and begins right after the holidays, looks to be no exception. But before that is the Barn's annual holiday show called It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, and it opens this Thursday night. Barn owner Mary Simon is our guest today on the Peorian, and we'll talk with her about that show and the new season after these messages. Welcome back to the Peorian and our guest Mary Simon, owner of Conklin's Barn 2 Dinner Theater in Goodfield. Welcome to our show, Mary, and thank you for sharing your time with us. I know you're wrapping up one show today, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
Exit the
That's
Body.
right.
And you've got another one already ready to go, right around the corner.
Well, we've got 3 more rehearsals, Paul, and we need every one of those, but it's going to be great when we get to Thursday night. It's our Christmas show, and it's called It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, and it's a brand new holiday review. And Pat is a master at putting these reviews together, and we have another one that is not repeating a Christmas song. And you know how hard that is? This is our third one. So, but we've learned lots of lyrics this Christmas.
It's not repeating a Christmas song?
It is not repeating a Christmas song.
What are some of the songs in the show?
Oh, now I knew you'd ask me that. We're Dickens caroling at the end of the show.
Oh.
So we're all in full Dickens regalia, and we're going to do all of the traditional Christmas carols. And then we have a country medley this year, and we're doing Blue Christmas. And there was a lot of discussion, but we are going to do Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer under protest. So that should be. And then we've also got Holly Jolly Christmas and stuff. It's a cute little country Christmas. Then we go to the 40s with the Brian Setzer arrangement of. It's In the Mood, but it's a Christmas song, and they're just wailing on that. So we've got a puppet show. I do a cooking segment, making a rum cake.
Really?
Oh, heaven help us. But it should be lots of fun. So.
Well, who's in it besides you? And I assume Pat is in it.
Yes, Pat and I and Dave Windsor and Dan and Tamara Chalicombe and Julie Peterson, who's from Pontiac, and she is a terrific talent. She's just terrific. So there's 6 of us. Chad Curvin on piano, along with Waco on the drums and Al Hedstrom on the bass. So it should be lots of fun.
Are there any skits involved?
Oh, yes. The puppet show is a skit. And we also have we're doing the Dickens Christmas Carol with audience members. And it's a cut-down version of that, but it's audience participation, and Pat is running that, and that is a Christmas skit, yes, I would say. And, of course, the cooking show is a skit. I hope I survive it, is what I will be.
How well received are your Christmas shows?
They're great. They're great. And we always used to do a regular comedy at Christmas. And then we noticed about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago that audiences really wanted to see a Christmas show at Christmas, and so since we've gone to a Christmas review, we've been packed the whole time. So that's a wonderful thing. We love Christmas.
When you said you would usually do a regular show, would it be a Christmas-based show?
No,
Is that what you mean?
No. We would just do a regular comedy, and there's lots of people that appreciated that, you know. But many folks want to be in the Christmas spirit, and we can certainly put them in the Christmas spirit and get them involved, and we enjoy doing it. It's really fun.
What are the dates of this show?
Oh, let's see. Well, it runs from this coming Thursday through New Year's Eve, and we have a brunch on New Year's this year because it falls on Saturday. So we're going to do two, and we're going to do an Atlantic New Year's this year because the weather always fights us on New Year's Eve. And sometimes it's really difficult to sit around and wait for that midnight. And we always do the show late and bring in a special bit of entertainment. Either the Plaids will sing or the Taffetas, or Mike has done comedy, Mike Dentino for us. But we thought maybe we'd just do New Year's Eve at 10 o'clock this year. And most people have been very receptive to that. They said that way we can get them home and they don't have to fight the weather, or they can go to the next party and, and call in New Year's Eve with the next bunch. So we're going to try it this year, but I think we've had really good reception so far.
Well, and the cost of this one will be $36. Is that correct?
New Year's Eve is a special thing.
Okay.
New Year's Eve is $125 a couple, but we have hats and noisemakers, and we give a coffee and donuts when you go home, and there's all kinds of door prizes. We've dropped balloons and spotlighters. Now, we don't put them in the balloons, but I mean, we give away all kinds of things. Gift certificates, I think we usually give away like 4 pairs of gift certificates, and a spotlighter, which is $200 worth of admissions. There's all kinds of extra things. So, and it's New Year's Eve. Now, the brunch is only $40 a person, and that includes the giveaway also, although we'll not drop the balloons, but we will do a grab bag. So,
and in the regular run of the show?
The regular, you're asking me something that I don't pay any attention to anymore. I think our prices range now from $32 to $36.
Okay.
But you could put it past me, Paul. That's the only part of our business I try to stay out of. Otherwise I'm in it up to my elbows and neck, but I don't pay much attention anymore.
But it's still a great value, is it not?
Yes. Yes, it's very difficult anymore. Have you been to the films lately? Have you been to the movies?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had a popcorn and 2 small drinks, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding!" Yeah. It's so no. As far as a full entertainment value, and we've usually got you for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've noticed with our audience is there's been such a transition over the years. We've been in business since 1975. What is that now? 7 years, something like that. I've been doing dinner theater for 40 years. Is that not frightening? But you see different trends, and when DVDs first came in, that was a switch. When we got the first VCRs, the old beta machines and things, people stayed home and rented movies and watched those movies and taped things, and so our audiences felt that. We felt Caterpillar strikes. We felt all kinds of things. Right now, what we feel is a need for socialization. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, it
I
is.
just love it, because people have sat all day in front of a computer, or they've had very little contact, physical contact with people, and emotional contact with people. And they bring their friends out, and they bring their coolers, and they have time to spend socially with people that they have not had during their day because of their jobs. And so I love to see that. And there's a lot of that, and we have our crowd has gotten much younger because of that.
Oh, good.
And they come out in 6s and 8s, and they party. And again, a lot of people bring relatives out that are visiting too. So.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the history of the Barn Dinner Theater, including why Chauncey Conklin started it in 1975. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're with Mary Simon, owner of Conklin's Barn to Dinner Theater. Mary, have you been with the barn since it opened or thereabouts?
Yes. I started with Chauncey back in 1969, and the barn opened in 75. So we'd already been in 5 different locations by the time we got to the barn. So
doing what? I mean, dinner
theater. I started with him at the Illinois House in downtown Bloomington, and the first thing I did for him was, I auditioned for him on a Monday, and Friday night I was singing with him in the Bourbon Barrel. And Saturday and Sunday I was running lights. That was a jerry-rigged light switchboard on top of the piano for the show that they were currently doing.
Now, Chauncey Conklin was a Central Illinois native from Aerosmith, correct?
Yes.
How about you? Are you from Central Illinois?
I would say West Central Illinois. I'm from Geneseo.
Oh, really?
So it's up around Rock Island, Moline, and lots of little rivers up there. You'd almost call me a river rat. I love water. Maybe that's got something to do with it. But yeah, so I came down to ISU, and I had been there 2 years and was a theater major and loved it, but I really wanted to do theater, you know, and I was about ready to quit, and one of the guys that was a friend of mine came in and said, you know, there's a crazy guy downtown Bloomington that's doing dinner theater. And I said, oh, heck, and I went down and auditioned for him, and that was that. So,
and you've stayed with it ever since?
Ever since.
Did you ever think of going to New York and trying it? Or?
Yeah, I've always said, Paul, that I don't think my aspirations were high enough, because all I ever wanted to be was a working actor. That's all I ever wanted to be. Well, I've done that for 40 years. How lucky am I? You know, but I always thought, well, maybe I should have set my goal a little higher. But, you know, I've worked my whole life. You know, I've performed all the time. How lucky is that?
When did you take over the barn?
In 1999. Chance passed on Christmas Eve of 1999. I really took it over in 95, but Chance was still with us then. And I was really doing all of the things, but it was still him. You know, he was with me. He was over my shoulder for 5 years. So.
And all this time you've kept the Conklin name on it.
Well, yes, we did. It wasn't. No, when we came back up, we lost the barn in '94 through a bankruptcy, and went to Florida and Branson for a year, which was a wild time, and I learned a lot. And then Chance came back up to run it again. So I was still in Florida, and he had a stroke. Oh. And I came back. Otherwise, but what did you ask me now?
Has it been the Conklin name?
Oh, no, so it wasn't. So when we reopened, we couldn't use the Conklin name because it was tied up with him in bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
And so I owned the barn at that time, and we were then Barn 2, Dinner Theater. Cute, huh? People always ask how that, you know, was there a Barn 1? Yes, there was. And I thought it would be cute to go Barn TOO, Dinner Theater, but I thought, no, that's way too cute. You know, and we couldn't use the name Conklin. So once he passed, I put it back on the barn, because I thought it needed to be a tribute to him.
And tribute to him.
Yeah.
And you've got tributes out there.
Yes.
To Chance.
Yes. We had a memorial fund for him, and so we put up a natural stone for him that's there.
There was a time that the theater, your theater, did something other than comedies, or you did more mainstream theater. The very first show I ever saw out there was Fiddler on the Roof, for example.
Yes.
Now it's pretty much comedies. Mm-hmm. Some people say, oh, it's because comedies are easier to do. Well, those are the people who don't know that comedies are not easier to do. What was behind the decision, briefly, what was behind the decision to stick to comedies?
Well, financial. That's as short as I can make it. Musicals are so expensive.
Yes.
By the time we are a for-profit theater, we are not subsidized.
Okay.
And we pay everyone. And musicians, we pay well, and I try to pay our actors well. And when you get a musical in there, now Chance he was a musical comedy man, and he loved musical theater, but he always overproduced. And we always lost money on those musicals and then had to make it up with the comedies. I can't afford it. I cut it. I hold it a little closer to the best. We love to do musicals. If I had my way, we'd do them all the time. They're too expensive.
Okay.
Yep. So we slip them in when we can.
We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll talk about the coming season. But first, here is our literary and culinary guy, Kevin Kizer, to tell us what's happening in his world.
Hey, it's Kevin, the literary and culinary guy here at the Peorean, and this week we're introducing a new segment called Short and Funny. And no, it's not about Sarah Palin's political career. It's about short, funny novels that you can read in a weekend. First off, for those who love English comedy, the works of P.G. Wodehouse and Evelyn Waugh stand out in particular. For the former, I'd recommend Jeeves and the Tie That Binds, which clocks in at about 200 pages. This novel concerns Jeeves attempting to join a West End club for butlers, but Bernie Wooster's notoriously checkered past makes this nearly impossible. Jeeves comes through in the end, as he always does, though. For Evelyn Waugh, I'd recommend The Loved One, concerning characters working at a mortuary in Los Angeles and some Brits whose Hollywood careers are in various stages of decay. Christopher Hitchens recommended this book to me, saying it was seriously funny, and I couldn't agree more. Now for comedy from this side of the pond, a short and funny book is The Insanity Defense, The Complete Prose of Woody Allen. Now this is a compilation of his comedic sketches going back to the 70s. Just like most of his films, these short stories are comedic classics with insights into the human condition such as, quote, why does man kill? He kills for food. And not only for food, frequently there must be a beverage, unquote. I'm resisting the urge to do a Woody Allen impression right now, and you should all be thankful. You know what? It's been a few weeks since I've had a Woody Allen reference, so to mark the occasion, let's add a little Woody head down here on the screen. Here. Good? Okay, but not, it's our second reference, so we better add another Woody. Perfect. 4 more Woodies, we get a free sub. So that's it from the Literary Cave, and I'm your host, Kevin. But instead of, signing off properly, I'm just going to keep talking because they're going to cut it whenever they want to anyway, and it doesn't matter what I say.
We're back with Mary Simon of Conklin's Barn 2 Dinner Theater in Goodfield. Mary, tell us about the 2012 season, which opens right after the holidays.
It does. I think it opens January 12th, but don't hold me to that because I don't have it right in front. And again, Pat Guy handles all of that for me. We are opening with Neil Simon's Come Blow Your Horn, which we're really excited about. It's a short run. I think it's a 6-weeker. And then we're going with Larry Shue's The Foreigner, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. I love that show. Again, it's a short run. Then See How They Run, Philip King, which is such a funny show. One of my favorite characters in the world, Miss Skillen, is in See How They Run. That's not why we're doing it, but I can't wait to do Miss Skillen. And then we're bringing back Nonsense Amen. And Mike Nantino is on board with our plaids. And I'll tell you what, out of all the shows that we've done out there, that is the show that is the most requested show for us to do. Nonsense Amen. We must have got a good do on it. We fell into something there. And then Funny Business is a new script for us. It should be lots of fun. And then Julie Seeley is coming in from Elmwood to do a Patsy Cline review. And then there's a Move Over Mrs. Markham, and then another Christmas review.
The Patsy Cline review, is it the well-known Patsy Cline show?
No. Julie and her friend put this together. Okay. Carol Davis put this together, and she did a marvelous job with it. And Julie is terrific in it, and I can't wait to see it. I have not seen it yet, but I've seen clips of it and things. And Julie is a phenomenal performer. Just wonderful.
You seldom have any downtime at the theater. I mean, it goes from one, and within days another one opens. A lot of the same performers.
Yes.
When do you have time to rehearse?
We rehearse on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and normally we have 11 to 13 rehearsals. Okay. Next year we'll have about 11, and we will be going directly. When we have an 8-week run, usually we could take off maybe 1 week, Tuesday and Wednesday, so that you got 3 days off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I still work those days, but it's not at the barn. Mm-hmm. But now with the shorter schedule, we'll go straight. But we'll work ahead. We'll audition shows early. There'll be so if anyone's interested in auditioning for us, please call out to the barn because we'll have audition dates, but they won't be normal like they've been in the past. Normally, we always auditioned the first Tuesday night after we open a show. Okay. But that will change now because I'm working ahead.
Now, you had told me a little earlier that you are doing more shows in 2012.
We've added a show, so there will be one more for them to come and see, so our audience to come and see, which we're excited about.
And that'll be a total of?
8.
8 during the year?
8 shows. So that means they'll go to 5, 6, and 7 week runs. So
as opposed to?
8 and 9, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that includes another Christmas show?
Yes, another Christmas review. So.
It seems like a couple of the names that you mentioned, too, The Foreigner being one, Come Blow Your Horn. Those are more mainstream comedies.
Yes.
Those aren't farces.
No. The only farce we really have, we have 2 next year. Funny Business is a farce. Okay. And also Move Over Mrs. Markham is Ray Cooney, so Cooney Chapman, which we love to do farce out there, too. But the comedies, yes. And See How They Run is a farce also. I guess we've got 3 there in a row, but I love the comedies too. I love to do them. And this past year we did Cemetery Club, and it was a joy to do. So.
Any personal favorites?
I like them all. I pretty much try to stay in the moment, You know what I mean? It's what you've got right now. Do it, you know, and give it what you can. It's the hardest thing to do for me is to stay in the moment, and yet it's the most rewarding thing of all to do. Stay where you are.
Yeah. Oh, great. Mary, thank you for your time being here.
Well, thank you,
It was very
Paul.
enlightening. I wish we would have had more time.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And I've been to the barn many times. I got to tell you, it's worth every penny. It's quite a value. Remember that you can see today's interview in its entirety on our website, thepeorian.com, immediately following this broadcast. And be sure to join us next week right here on WHOI. Have a good week.
Música